This one's just silly. This one's just for fun. This is out of a book what I wrote called The Geordie Book of Magic. And it's an easy trick. It's a trick with 3 cards, okay? 3 cards. It's the world famous 3-card trick, the 3-card Monty. It's known all over the world by different names, such as in New York City, they call it Find a Lady. And Paris, they call it Chase the Ace. Whereabouts? Hong Kong, Follow the Red Card. From where I'm from in Newcastle, we call it Hunt That I Better Not. So 3 cards. One's a bit different to the other ones. And I was told there was nothing wrong with being different to the other ones from a young age. 3 cards. Madame, which is the odd one out, apart from me. Do it as a team? Yeah, the middle one, the Queen. No, that's great. Both of you, that's good. 2's better than 1. I've got stamina. So, the middle one, Queen of Hearts, good. If I turn the cards around now, where's the Queen of Hearts?
In the middle. In the middle.
Good. If I take the Queen of Hearts out, where's the Queen now? My right hand?
Your right hand.
Good. Would you bet me £50 that the Queen of Hearts is in my right hand?
No.
I thought one of the 2 of you would be clever. No? You would bet, wouldn't you? No brainer. Huh? Oh, wait a second. I was distracted because I was using 2 people over there. How about we just do a beer instead of £50?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, all right, Newcastle Brown Ale for me. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, I'm all hype. And I got the call and said, can you come to Manchester and do
15.
this? And I heard the money was good. I said yes. But I've never actually done this before. Just sounded like a really good idea on the phone that time. Here we go. Trick number 1.
30.
Slow down. Escaping from the hat. Shut up, Rachel. Okay, have us links. It's a boy! A really hairy boy. Encouragement would be good. Make some noise. What's the time? 60. Dislocation number 2.
One minute 15.
14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I work all over the world. I've worked for lots of companies. As you can see, there's some of them, companies, festivals, stuff like that. I was given I occasionally do talks on business, but the main thing that you said to talk about was resilience, because that's quite in vogue at the minute, isn't it? Mental health and everything. So this is a bit of a talk about resilience. So my goal was to be a magician. My theory: practice to perfect what you're doing. That will increase your confidence with what you're working on. Once you've practiced enough, you can then become an expert in your area of interest or your trade, just in case you can't read. I thought I would read that for you. Process it. If you practice doing something, you get to know that you can do it. You get to know you can do it inside out with your eyes closed. For example, if I say, pick the 4 of diamonds, that's just a normal pack of cards. Okay? But I'm confident. I'm so confident because I've practiced this for 20 years. Okay? I know I can do it. So when you practice what you're doing, you perfect it. When you've perfected what you're doing, you're confident with it. If you're confident and you're good at it, then I guess you're an expert in your trade. Now, I knew that anyone wanting to work in show business needs to remember the 2 words that make up show business: the show and the business. You've got to treat the show 50%, and the business 50%. When you've got the show nailed, you can treat the business maybe 60% and the show 40% for a short period, as long as you go back to a 50-50 split. So what happened is, I was 13 and I was working all the bars and nightclubs around Newcastle. I'll go right back to the beginning. I was 10 years old, and a guy at school showed me a magic trick in the playground, and I thought it was mint. So I learned how to do it. I carried on learning magic tricks. He doesn't do them anymore. He's a painter and decorator. And I kept up with them. So when I was 13, I started working in bars and nightclubs around Newcastle. 1, you're not allowed to work when you're 13. 2, you're not allowed to go in bars and nightclubs when you're 13. So it was a perfect combination. They kind of cancelled each other out. It was fine. So I was working in bars and nightclubs for tips, okay? Every Friday and Saturday night, I always had the best pencil case at school and the best trainers. So I was doing that when I was 13. So when it came to the time that, what do you want to do now that you've finished school, you're 16 years old, where now it was a no-brainer. Why waste time studying? So I'd started making money. I was doing okay. You know, I was building up my business. I was self-employed. It was you know, a good choice, a good decision. And then it got to say 2010. I was 21 years old. After promoting myself and gigging and all that sort of stuff, 2010 was the year that really, you know, every year had been getting bigger and better gigs and more money and this and that and the other. 2010 really nailed it. So in 2010, I travelled the world, celebrated my 21st birthday. I'd lived well, and I'd had a lot of fun. It was really good. 2011 came round, and that there, I'm not an artist. What happened was, this isn't me, this is Ozzy Osbourne, but I'd been growing this business for years. So from 10 years old, learning my first magic trick, to 21 years old, traveling the world and living the dream and first class flights and getting picked up at the airport and rolling on rock stars and stuff, I forgot that I was a magician. I'm just a magician. I'm there to go and make people happy, to make them smile, to do some magic tricks, to entertain them, to take the money and to leave. That's it. I'm a magician, okay? I'm only here for money. Otherwise, nobody would be here, right? Would you be here if you weren't getting paid? Exactly. Me neither. So we're all just here for the money. And I'd forgot that. I'd got this lifestyle of globe-trotting and doing these massive shows and arenas and stuff. And I actually thought that I was some sort of rock star. And I'd finally got to where I wanted to be, working all over the world, doing these really good gigs and making a real good living from it. And I just let it slip through my fingers because I thought I was some sort of rock star. Should I have had a manager? Probably. Because if I'd had a manager, he would have told me how to act and what to do and so on and so forth. But I didn't. I didn't have one. So I'd worked really hard and I lost it all. So put it into your terms, you just got a promotion, so what? Tomorrow you could lose your job or worse. Be nice in and out of the workplace. So coming back to this resilience thing, when things don't go to plan, it teaches us to become more resilient, and that is another step closer to perfecting our area of expertise in the workplace and achieving our goals out of the workplace. My grandparents brought me up. They're basically my mum and dad, as far as I'm concerned. My nana died 2 years ago. My granddad died 3 years ago. This isn't a soppy Britain's Got Talent story or anything, but they brought me up, and they were really good. Dorothy and Alfred Good, and they were really good. I had a real low year in 2011, so 2012 was like, right, how do I get me looking good again? So, you know, doing tricks for the royal family, getting sponsored by, you know, royal warrant holder companies, going in The Guardian, doing tricks for lots of celebrities, doing bigger things such as challenging Mike Tyson to a contest of strength. I managed to get the gig to perform before his sportsman's dinner talk. What did I learn from that? No matter how good you are, what you've done, where you've been, who you know, how fantastic everything is, nobody is invincible. And always make sure you've got a backup plan. You've got to look after yourself. Look after yourself. take opportunities, and if there seems to be no opportunities around, then create your own. That's what I'd learned to do over the years, things like with challenging Mike Tyson and getting my branding back together and stuff like that. For example, the people you'd love to work with on hiring you, don't worry, you hire them. So what I'd learned from becoming really good to failing, to becoming really good, to getting a health problem and getting a big setback, to getting really good again, is once I got really good again, I didn't mess it up and a health problem didn't get in the way. So once I got really good again, I thought, what do I do now? How do I go about it? Take as many opportunities as I possibly can, which is what I did. So do I feel I've worked hard to perfect my skills? Yes. Have I overcome massive difficulties in my career? Yes. Am I resilient? Not entirely, but I'm working on it.